Now I'm going to work through each one of these modules, the designer, the charting, the ranking, and the warehouse module in more depth, but I'll try to keep these or limit these to about 5 to 6 minutes each. I'm going to start with the designer. I'll bring this up, and as I mentioned before, this is the data repository of HGSI. I'm going to start with these reference groups. You can see that we have different folders here, all securities. That would be everything that's in the database. And we also have all AMEX, all NASDAQ, all NYSE, all market indexes, all symbols, and so on. These are closed-end funds. These are component lists of stocks, ETF components, and index components. These are ETFs and ETNs. These are exchange indexes, the major indexes, and then we have the industries and the sectors. And if you open each of these folders, you can see that there are subfolders under each one of these. Now the industries are made up of individual stocks, and as I get into the ranking module, you'll see that. We also have major industries, sectors, sectors by industries, and then some unclassified securities. We also have the major market index components. Here are the Dow stocks, transportation stocks, utilities, NASDAQ 100, Russell, and so on. I don't need to read all these off. If you just open this up and look, you'll see that these indexes are made up of these individual securities. Moving on down, we have the major market indexes. And then we have some market breadth indicators. That is the extent of the reference groups. Now we get into the smart groups, and these are strategies by different people. You can see that there are some other subfolders in here, popular ETF families, popular stock categories. You can open these up and see what's in here. The IPOs are located in this folder. This is a index of stocks generating VPA signals, and I'll get into the VPA a little bit. And then these are individuals. Now I'm here with my former partner who unfortunately passed away about a year and a half ago. This has not been changed. We worked on these smart groups together, and so this is where you're going to find the strategies that I use most often. We have Jeff Scott, Larry Connors, Dave Ghilardi, Dave Steckler, Charles Kirkpatrick, Gil Morales, and Chris Kasher, and the Morpheus Trading Group are in here. And then we get down into the user groups. This is where you can create your own groups and save the data if you want to. Now I maintain folders I call the non-index groups because none of these stocks, I've got it set up so none of the stocks generate indexes because it just takes time to generate those indexes. But you can see that I maintain a lot of data. Now this is information that I keep up to date through what I call my Insider Club. I send the updates out weekly, but I maintain stocks and groups that are moving up on a monthly basis and moving down. These are the best of W&B, and the best of W&B actually come from the Woodward and Brown Smart Groups. The stocks which appear most often in these groups each day, the top 10 will go into the best of Woodward and Brown. These are high relative strength stocks, stocks that have a high relative strength and generally a high group rank also, and I'll get into that. VPA signals, top 50 group inclusion reports, that is something that will be discussed down the road, and there are some others in here that I don't really need to cover right now. Now these are some groups that I maintain or look at occasionally, but the primary groups that I maintain here is the W&B user groups, and you can see that there are several folders here, and I will cover some of that when I get into market analysis. So anyway, there's a lot of data in this designer, and you have the flexibility of either using the reference groups, the smart groups, or maintaining your own groups.